to Court TV Live, I'm Julie Grant. Turning now to the upcoming retrial in the pizza delivery murder case. This is involving defendant Erica Stefanko. You'll remember we broadcasted her trial back in 2020, and she was convicted of luring her then husband's ex-wife to a specific location for her to be murdered. And that conviction was then overturned by the Ohio Court of Appeals. So the victim here was pizza delivery driver Ashley Biggs. This is her. And she was involved in a bitter custody battle with Chad Cobb, who was married to Erica Stefanko at the time. He was first with Ashley Biggs and then had moved on to Erica Stefanko. And the facts go like this. Stefanko and Cobb conspired together. She made a fake pizza order, and Ashley Biggs was attacked and killed while she was doing her job, thinking she was making that pizza delivery, but was set up to be killed by Chad Cobb. And in 2022, defendant Erica Stefanko won her appeal, and the case was sent back down to the trial court level for a retrial. Here's some information on the background of the case.
The jury has found the defendant, Erica Stefanko, guilty of the offense of aggravated murder.
An Ohio jury convicted Erica Stefanko in 2020 for her role in the violent murder of 25-year-old mother Ashley Biggs. It was the verdict that Biggs's friends had waited for more than 8 years.
Ashley can finally rest. We can finally continue to tell the true story about her and be able to say both of her murderers are in jail.
But their relief would not last. 2 years later, Stefanko's conviction was overturned, setting the stage for a murder retrial. Stefanko stood trial in fall of 2020 as the COVID-19 pandemic raged. Presiding Judge Amy Corrigal-Jones let the trial proceed over the objections of both the prosecutors and the defense.
Everyone will remain with a mask on, and we will proceed accordingly.
It was the remote testimony of a key witness from prison that an appellate court found fault with, and that court reversed Stefanko's conviction. The witness? Chad Cobb, Stefanko's ex-husband, who admitted to killing Biggs and is serving a life sentence for murder.
Is it fair to say that Ashley did not leave that parking lot alive that night?
Yes, sir, that is accurate.
Prosecutors allege that Cobb killed Biggs to end a bitter custody dispute over their daughter, and that he did it with the help of his then wife, Erica.
She drove Chad to the crime scene. She knew why it was going to happen. It was that custody battle. It was retaliation. She made the call to Domino's that lured Ashley Biggs to her death.
Biggs worked as a pizza delivery driver. The night of June 21st of 2012, prosecutors say Stefanko called in a bogus pizza order using a fake name to lure Biggs to an isolated location where Cobb ambushed her.
A zip tie was placed around her neck, causing strangulation to her death. She was beat. Her body was thrown in the back of her car, driven to a different county.
Cobb pleaded guilty to Biggs's murder in 2013. But years later, Cobb decided to implicate Stefanko, who had since divorced him and married his best friend. During the trial, Cobb pointed the finger at Stefanko, while Stefanko's lawyer argued that Cobb was testifying against his ex out of spite.
Here's a person who's admitted his guilt, admitted that he beat, admitted that he strangled Ashley Biggs, killed her, and yet now he's trying to get out of it. How credible is that kind of person?
A new trial means a new chance at freedom for Stefanko if she can convince a jury she had nothing to do with Biggs's murder. That could mean Stefanko takes the witness stand in her own defense, something she declined to do in her first trial. Stefanko faces life in prison if she is convicted of murder.
All right, that was anchor Ashley Wilcott reporting there for us. Now, a big part of Erica Stefanko's appeal was that the trial judge erred in allowing Chad Cobb to testify remotely. Now, of course, this was because of the pandemic, and we expect Cobb to testify again at trial, but this time in person. You'll recall we talked a lot about this in our analysis on Court TV about the confrontation clause in our Constitution and the right to confront witnesses against you. And this is what the appellate court found, that she had a right to have him there right in front of her in the same room. So that's what we're going to see as this case opens up this week. As we're gearing up, let's remind ourselves a little bit of what Chad Cobb told the jury. He was an interesting character, and he recalls how Stefanko lured Ashley Biggs to her death.
All right. So when she walked over to the Lincoln, what did she do?
She made a phone call.
And could you hear that phone call?
I could hear bits and pieces, but not the entire thing.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Mr. Cobb, on this occasion, you're going to be allowed to answer this following question. What did you hear Erica say on that phone call?
Objection.
Overruled.
I remember her saying somebody else's name. I remember it was a Jennifer or Katie, and it was Mick something. Like how you say McDonald's, I don't remember what she said the last name was. And I remember she ordered a pizza. And I remember it struck me as bizarre because she ordered a half pepperoni and mushroom pizza.
And when she ordered the pizza,
Smiling.
I'm sorry?
She was smiling.
Objection, non-responsive. Motion to strike.
Sustained. It's stricken.
Where was she when she made the phone call?
Over by the Lincoln.
Do you know what phone she was using?
I don't.
Was it a phone you gave her?
Oh, we had a bunch of phones at the house. I don't know which one she was using.
Did you give her a phone on that occasion?
No, sir. We had a bunch of phones. We had a number of cell phones at the house for the employees. I don't know which one she took.
My only question to you is, did you hand her a phone that evening?
No, sir.
After she made the phone call, what did you do?
I was still over by the tree.
Were the kids all still in the car when she made the phone call?
Yes, sir.
As far as you know, did the kids ever leave the car?
No, sir.
What's the next thing you did?
I stayed at the tree and Erica walked back over.
Did you have another conversation?
Yes, sir.
After that conversation was done, what did you do next?
I was still at the tree. And Eric, I was still at the tree, and Erica went in the vehicle and left.
And when she left, you were there without a vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And what happened next?
A short time later, Ashley showed up.
Is it fair to say that Ashley did not leave that parking lot alive that night?
Yes, sir, that is accurate.
What were you wearing when Ashley showed up?
I'm sorry, sir, your image froze. I heard, what were you wearing, but then nothing, you didn't say anything else, it froze.
What were you wearing when Ashley showed up?
I was still in my work clothes, Cobb cable shirt, camouflage pants and jacket, work boots.
And did you have duct tape on your coat?
I did.
And it was a camouflage coat that matched the pants?
One more time, please.
Did the camouflage pants match the camouflage coat?
Yes, sir.
And you had camouflage belt on?
I don't remember what kind of belt I had on, but I usually wore a belt, yes, sir.
And what did you have with you?
I might have had my wallet. I know I had my work taser on me, and I know I had my diving knife on me.
At some point in time, did you make a phone call?
Yes, sir.
And who did you call?
I called my wife.
Erica?
Yes, sir.
And when you called her, then what happened?
She showed up.
Erica showed up. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did you do with Ashley's body?
When I had to leave, I picked her up and put her in the car.
Whose car?
Ashley's car.
What part of the car did you put her in?
In the back seat.
And when you put her in the back seat, did she have anything on her that was placed on her that she didn't have on her when she arrived?
Yes, there was.
What was on her?
A zip tie.
How many?
I only remember one. I remember one around her neck.
So how did you lift her into the car?
How did I, what, to the car, sir?
How did you lift her into the car?
I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that.
That's okay. Let me ask another question. How tall was Ashley?
She's a little shorter than me, so 5'8", 5'7"-ish.
How tall are you?
6'2".
And is she how is she built? Big, small, medium?
She's hefty and strong.
So was it difficult for you to get her into the car?
Yes, sir.
So did you use the zip ties to lift her?
No, sir.
When we come back, we'll hear more from Chad Cobb as he talks more about how Ashley Biggs died and who was the one who killed her.
Connecticut mother goes missing.
Now, her estranged husband's girlfriend
stands trial for her alleged role in the disappearance.
The Missing Mom Conspiracy Trial. Live coverage begins this week only on Court TV.
Ms. Stefanko, based upon the facts and circumstances, consideration of the relevant sentencing factors, applying the minimum sanction I've determined will protect the public and punish you without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local resources. Analyzing all the factors I'm required to analyze, including the seriousness factors, the recidivism factors, and all other factors before the court. The court is issuing a life sentence with parole eligibility after 30 years. As part of your sentence, you must obey all laws, refrain from any offensive conduct, follow all the rules of the department. You're not allowed.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We're talking about the pizza delivery murder trial. Why? Because the conviction for Erica Stefanko has been overturned. You'll recall she was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole back in 2020 after being convicted of luring her then husband's ex-wife, Ashley Biggs, to a remote location where Biggs would be ambushed by her ex-husband, Chad Cobb, and killed. Now, Stefanko's conviction has been overturned by the Ohio Court of Appeals. The court found that the trial court made an error in allowing Stefanko's ex-husband, murderer Chad Cobb, to testify against her remotely. Now, remember, this was all during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? That was why the remote testimony was allowed. But the Court of Appeals has spoken, so now Erika Stefanko has to be retried. Now, Chad Cobb did plead guilty to murdering his ex-wife, Ashley Biggs. She's also the mother of his then 6-year-old daughter at the time. He pleaded in order to avoid the death penalty, so he's currently serving a life sentence. And he gave testimony against Erika Stefanko, his current wife at the time. He's going to have to give that testimony all over again. And he claimed in his testimony that he wasn't the person who actually strangled Ashley Biggs. That's interesting. Let's listen.
Was Ashley already dead?
Yes, sir.
Did you strangle her?
I'm not the one who strangled her, sir.
Would you please repeat that?
I am not the one that strangled her, sir.
I see. So now you pled guilty, and now you're saying that you didn't kill her. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, did you and Erika ever plan to kill Ashley Biggs?
No, sir.
At your sentencing, when Judge Jones asked you if you had anything to say, did you say anything about Erika?
At sentencing,
Yes, sir.
I told the judge that there's a lot that I need to say about this, but there's very little that I can.
Mr. Cobb,
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you specifically, at sentencing, did you ever mention during your sentencing allocution anything about Erika Lyon?
Again, I said that there's a lot of things that need to be said, but there's so little that I can at that time.
Judge, can you instruct the witness to answer directly?
Well, Attorney O'Brien, I think he's answering your question. If you want to ask him directly, did he reference her name? You can do that. We'll see what his answer is.
Did you mention Erika's name at sentencing?
No, sir.
This guy made me so mad. How about you? I found him infuriating, sitting there in that Mr. Rogers sweater trying to look all innocent. He's lucky he didn't get the death penalty. He killed the mother of his child. That's what he did. And when he tries to backtrack and say he didn't have a role in it, it's disgusting. I also hate that this case was overturned. I don't agree with it. I feel like, what was the judge supposed to have done during the pandemic when we were all supposed to be safe and distance ourselves? This was brand new territory to navigate legally. And our court systems, some of them were open and we're operating with masks and glass and Zooms, all of those things. So now Ashley Biggs, her justice is again up in the air. You know, this is a woman who deserves justice for her murder. Her daughter deserves justice, and now Erika Stefanko one of her killers gets a second bite at the apple. There's Ashley Biggs, a reminder she's who this case is about. She's the pizza delivery driver who deserved to live, and her mother, who was known throughout the proceedings as GC to protect her identity, her child, rather known as GC, sadly had to give testimony in this case. How sad is that she had to testify against stepmom, Erica Stefanko. I want to bring in my guest, and I want to play some of what she told the court. I have with me family and parenting relationship expert Dr. Sue Kornbluth and retired police sergeant Melissa Pinkleton. I've got this clip where the daughter, GC, the daughter that Ashley Biggs and Chad Cobb had together, and she gives testimony about Erica Stefanko's stepmom being abusive, and says the abuse went so far as she even gave GC dog feces to eat. That's what the child told the court. Let's listen.
And you said physically, so what was the physical type of abuse?
I remember she would hold me on the ground and she would hit me. And then she also, before, made me eat dog feces.
So let's talk about that. Do you know why she made you eat dog feces?
Because she was jealous of my relationship with my father.
With who?
With my father.
With your father.
Dr. Sue, your thoughts, please.
She's guilty. What else is there to say here, Julie? I mean, this whole case is making me sick, as it is you. Who else got a new trial? The problem here during COVID, not many people. Here's the problem here. This woman is abusive. They're covering it up. He's helping, and that's what's going on here.
Dr. Sue Kornbluth, we always love having you on Court TV Live. Thank you so much. We've got to say goodbye to you.